बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। स्टूडेंट्स, अभी हमारा फर्स्ट चैप्टर का ये थर्ड वीडियो है, लेक्चर 3, फंडामेंटल्स ऑफ केमिस्ट्री। Chapter 1. So there are some new definitions. Compound is a pure substance which is made up of two or more elements held together in fixed ratios by natural forces are called chemical bonds, and the properties of compound are different from the properties of the elements from which they are formed. Elements and compounds have uniform properties throughout. So ये कुछ characteristics हैं, और फर्स्ट टू लाइन जो है आपको नज़र आ रही है, ये आपको डेफिनेशन शो कर रही है। That compound is made up of two or more elements. Second, those elements which join to form a compound, they are held together by natural forces, and we term them as chemical bonds. Now we will focus on these two things. Number 1, a compound is a pure substance. Pure in this sense that all of the elements which join to form a compound, the resulting product is pure. Pure that it has some specific ratio of elements which are always same. There is nothing else held with them, available with them, that could change or modify their properties. So compound has always some fixed ratios, and these fixed ratios make this compound different from the other compounds, and similarly they have some specific set of properties too. So another thing, that atoms between the compound formation are held together with the help of some forces. These forces are termed as the chemical bonds. As you see water lots of different times, there are 3 atoms in total, 1 hydrogen, 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. They are all together these lines which are showing the bonds. Basically ये एक इलेक्ट्रॉनिक अट्रैक्शंस होती हैं जो डिफरेंट एटम्स के बीच में अराइज करती हैं, और इनको हम केमिकल बॉन्ड कहते हैं। सो इसके बारे में डिटेल जो है वो आप नेक्स्ट चैप्टर्स में पढ़ेंगे। तो देन डेफिनेशन जो है कंपाउंड की, उससे हमें ये क्लियर हो गया दैट इट इज़ अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ टू और मोर एलिमेंट्स which are always in some fixed ratios, and those are held together with the help of natural forces, and these are called chemical bonds. Next is the the properties of the compounds are different from the properties of the element. When elements join within a compound, they lose their properties. For example, hydrogen. Hydrogen is a gas. Secondly, it burns explosively, so it can produce lots of energy, like it can blast. On the other hand, oxygen, which is a second element which helps to make water, is element that support process of burning. Without oxygen you cannot lit fire, so it is very necessary for the burning process. These are two minor smaller characteristics of hydrogen and oxygen. But when these two join and form water, H2O, what is the effect of water on fire, on the process of burning? Whenever we have some fire, we use water to extinguish the fire, to stop the fire, to stop the burning process. So the compound which is formed by these two elements, oxygen and hydrogen, that has totally different properties from the parent elements from where it is formed. So water has different properties, but oxygen and hydrogen has the totally different. Similarly, if you see some another example, it is sodium chloride, NaCl. Sodium is a metal, it is very reactive. It can, even when joined mixed with water, dropped in water, it goes make an explosive sound, and even some other important chemicals. It is very exothermic process, mean it can produce a lots of heat when it is reacted with water. And there is another member, it is a chlorine. If you see chlorine, it is poisonous gas, so very dangerous for health. But when these two combine and form sodium chloride, it is totally different. You know, it is our table salt we use as flavor in our fruits, and it is very supportive to make flavoring, to make different stabilizing agents. So it is very important component that is used in everyday nutrition. Next is mixture. What is a mixture? A substance that is impure. Impure contains two or more pure substances which retain their individual chemical characteristic is called mixture. What these lines means? It means when we make some mixtures, like we have a beaker and we are going to put some water into it, and now we can add some substance, like we add NaCl to it. So water has some specific texture, some specific taste, and this meantime when we mix sodium chloride, it will provide a salty solution, salty taste over here. So this is something a combination of a solution that is making salt and water solution, and you will see that water has some specific properties. It is retaining, and at the same time salt also retaining its properties within that mixture. So this was the pure thing. Water was pure thing, but when they joined, they form a impure substance. Any mixture is of impure substance. It may contain two more substances and form a different combination. All those combinations will be termed as the mixture. Next is, there are different examples of mixtures with us. Air, water containing dissolved oxygen, table salt dissolved in water, salt and sand. These are different forms. Next one is, what are types of mixtures? So we have two type of mixtures. One is the homogeneous mixtures, other one is the heterogeneous mixture. Homogeneous mixtures are those which are in one phase, while heterogeneous are those in which the comprising agents, the substances which are making that mixture, could be visible. They were seen with naked eye, and they could be easily visualized. Like if we have a solution of water and salt, it make a clear solution. We cannot differentiate between salt and water, so it is a homogenized one. It has one phase. In the same way, if we make a solution of water solution of sorry like we have filled it with the water and add some sugar to it, and when we mix them, they will totally homogenized. Then what are the heterogeneous mixtures? In heterogeneous mixtures, you can see like sand and salt. What will be the difference between this one homogeneous and the heterogeneous mixtures one? That sand and salt mixtures, you can easily be differentiate between the particles of sand, between the particles of salt. Similarly, if you add some oil to the water, it will could be easily seen that is floating on the surface of the water, and these are the heterogeneous substances. Then we have next one. It is some very important question, that how you can differentiate between the compound and a mixture. So I am going to read these properties for you, and you may understand easily. Number one, compound. It is formed by the chemical combination of atoms of the constituents lose their identity and form new substances having entire different properties from the compound. Always have fixed compositions by mass. The components cannot be separated by physical means. Every compound is represented by a chemical formula. Compounds have homogeneous composition. Compounds have sharp and fixed melting points. on the other hand, mixture it is contrary to it. It is the totally opposite properties to these already taken. So you could study by your own.